Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole.
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
The writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Made But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're really going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, folks. Hey, y'all. It's another Wednesday. Oh, I didn't mean to have that up here. Just a quick little woo. Yeah. Before I get in trouble, I'll take that down. So let's figure out what we're going to work on today. And I believe I should have a guest coming here shortly. Until then, I'm going to fire up the old Clip Studio and start doing some doodling. And for those interested, it doesn't show the screen. That sucks. Let's doesn't show the little pop-up for this. So for my settings on creating new pages. So anyway.
All right, while you're messing with that and figuring it out, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were to suddenly travel back 100,000 years to a cave that would eventually be discovered by archaeologists, what do you write on the wall to mess with them?
Honestly,
you get
Trump
one, so
right.
think about it. You only get one, so think about it.
Trump was right.
I was a little more classic than that. You are here. Just like every map on in every mall in the nation. You are here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our guest today is here, Mr. Vince White. He was here last week, and you guys talked about a whole bunch of stuff that Les couldn't show him because Les wasn't at home.
Yeah, I wasn't in the shop.
So today, Les gets to actually show Vince what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Hi, Vince. How you doing, brother? I'm hanging in there, man. Hold on. I'm gonna try. I'm having such camera problems. But greetings, hello. I have some technical questions after I say hello. Okay. Calm down, Tuff. My dog's turning. Look, I couldn't get on my desktop, so I'm using my phone for a camera.
Right.
I can get on the desktop and it'll have a mic. Can I get on the desktop and my phone at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, look.
What I'm using for a camera here is my phone.
You should be able to take that same link that I sent you on Facebook and launch it on your PC too. Yeah.
All right. I think I might have it. Hold on.
Now what you do is you use that one to share the screen, right?
What kind of phone you got, dude?
I don't know if he can hear us yet.
All right.
Okay. There you go.
What kind of phone you running?
Man, it's a crappy phone. It's a Motorola something or other.
I don't know if this would be there for that, but I know on an iPhone there's a thing that I use called Elgato camera.
Okay.
That will let me I just sign in once and I hook my phone up and it becomes like a webcam through Elgato.
Elgato, okay.
Really handy.
I gotta write that down. Yeah.
All right. Now on your computer, you should be able to put up whatever screen you want and share the screen that you want to show.
Yes. So,
but you're going to want to turn the mic off on one of them. You have both mics are on right now on your phone and on your headphones. So turn the mic off on one of them.
Okay, so let me see here. This is so beautiful. All of this. All right. How about that? That's better.
Do me a favor. Let's try this without the phone at all. Let's see what your computer does. Because if we can just share your screen up, we know it's you. Your pretty face. We know it's your pretty face. We just need to we need to see what you're working on, right?
Okay, sure. So let me
kill the phone and then I'll watch you sharing your screen over there.
Gotcha. So killing the phone. Murdered the phone.
There you go. Now talk to me.
All right. Can you hear me? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
You can hear me.
I can hear you.
I wonder why.
Because everything's working right. Now,
all right.
Down below where it says present.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let me open up my Photoshop. Hold on. Let me get my Photoshop open.
All right.
So how was your Labor Day weekend?
Mine was pretty decent.
It was actually my 61st birthday on Monday.
Wow.
So for me, it was, a a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit more of this and a little bit more of that. And And I came home.
Yep. All right. So this says present. So let me see.
Now that when you hit present, it should offer
screen.
you a share screen. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pick whatever window that you have open that you want to share with us.
Share screen. Okay. So super. It doesn't have my.
There's a couple
application windows. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Oh. I knew you'd figure it out. There we go. Now we got 2 to go back and forth from. From both at the same time, but we can't.
Okay, so let me see what I have here. All right, let me get something open real quick. I know I am doing. I'm doing characters.
Yep.
I'm putting characters into the Eternal #1. And
I like what you were doing with Mama Shotgun, except she needs to have a long dress on.
Yeah, I saw that, and see, I was getting confused between her and Apocalypse Girl, or
it's the book's called Apocalypse Girl, but there's never the phrase Apocalypse Girl is never even used anywhere in the book.
Gotcha.
The main character, the chick with the little black lines on her face.
Yes,
her name's Anna.
Anna. Oh,
so there's Anna, and there's Mama, and then there's Mamas of Girls.
Hey, Gray Wolf, what's up, brother? Got Gray Wolf in the chat. I wanted to tell you guys, since I can only show one screen at a time in this particular format, you guys got to let me know when you want me to flip it. Okay.
Oh, sure. If you can see it behind the scenes at all, just whenever something looks interesting to you, flip it.
Well, that's
it, dude.
That's just it. I might be slightly distracted here, and if there's something you are like trying to show the other guy, you need to hey, put my screen up so I can show this to him. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to just tell me what to do. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
What I am doing right now is just working out a quick sketch. I'm actually going to do a quick sketch of Mama here in Clip Studio.
Okay. All right. I want to learn Clip Studio. You know, I'm intimidated by it, as you know. Our last conversation, you know.
But
it seems so efficient. It has so much. It seems to have so much. It's robust in everything that it can offer, and I want to be able to take advantage of it.
I don't know if it will switch and show. I may have to share a different screen for it to show the story editor.
Okay.
Actually, no, I can show the story editor right
I've
here.
I've seen videos on it a little bit, and it seems really cool.
So, I will give a little sneak peek, and if I get in trouble with the publisher on this, so be it. But I'm going to open up the first issue of a little thing that I've been working on. I just finished the first issue of this. So this is what the story editor looks like.
Okay, let me see.
See, yeah, you guys can see that. Cool. So what the story editor does is, basically I can go in here and like from here, I could tell it add page, and it's going to stick one in here. And you see, when I add that page, it's already got my branded blue line stuff in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a template that I made for it. So all my stuff comes out with that.
That's cool. Yep, that's real cool.
And I really like having that on everything for a lot of reasons. But cancel, do not do that.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And
so that's 20.
That page. So if I get a script from somebody, what I will do is take that script, break it down by the page, and typically I will just go through and copy and paste, page 1, copy what's on page 1, and then I'll paste it into a page in the story editor, and then do that for every page. So I never have to go back and look at the document that I got. I've already got the whole script broken down by the page in my story editor, and I have all the pages that I'm going to need right there. Then I'll go back through and just open each one, pop open thumbnail of what's going to be on that page, and I'll, you can do it in different orders and stuff. Typically, I will thumbnail it all out and get a sense of the book as a whole.
Yeah.
And then go in and just start working each page out, one by one. Then if you see, I have them separated right here, but when I do a 2-pager, I will, let's see here. So I'll shift select both of these. They're side by side, has to be even number than the odd.
Gotcha.
And then I will combine those. Blah, 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 blah.
As a 2-pager.
Yeah. And combine pages. And that will snap those two together right there. 12 and 13 into a 2-page spread. Give it a second. And so like when I'm doing my layouts, when I want a 2-page spread, I go ahead and do that in the layouts. I'll go ahead and combine the pages. And so like there you see 2 pages. But then when it's time to set the stuff up to go to press, I'll come back through here and right click and hit split pages.
Split pages, yeah. And
then it'll separate them out so that I'm sending the proper file for each individual page. So I'm not counting on my pre-press people to do that separation.
So as far as this stream, guys, who do you think watches this particular stream? Is it artists or is it writers or because you're up here less and you're illustrating, who do you think is the target most likely?
Well, we call it the Comic Artist Hour, so we hope the artists are watching.
Yeah, I would imagine, it's going to be people who are artists or are interested in being artists, or, people who just have the general interest in the art itself.
Like,
that's what I would hope.
For instance, in the chat right now, we got my boy Doc. Doc just started doing digital recently, so shows like this are helping him out, learning how to use these programs and shit. So
okay, yeah.
We hope everybody watches. Just if nothing else, we get you introduce people.
Yeah.
To our crowd. Hey, it starts somewhere.
Yeah, start somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna start drawing Marvelous. It's Mally Simpson. It's a character that he submitted, and he's going to appear inside the Eternal issue #1, which is live on Kickstarter right now. And we are going to make these characters cameos. They're going to appear on a cork board for a Parahuman watch list. This is a Parahuman watch list, and interesting heroes who have caught the eye of this particular, I guess, agency or something like that. It's part of the story of the Eternal. So Marvelous is a big hunky guy. I got to try to figure out what position to have him in. I got the reference art here. So what happened? So maybe I'll just have him. Let me see. Maybe I'll just have him in a typical hunch position. I've got this thing, Les. I call it comic book shorthand.
Yep.
And what it basically is for me is after looking at comics and seeing so many comics over the years, I realized that the characters can only appear in like so many positions. And if you really look at the key positions that they're in, those stances, those outlines, those silhouettes, they actually are almost letters. Not letters like the English language letters, but they're symbols. Like if you see a silhouette of someone running,
Yeah.
It's a certain way, especially done in comics. And all you have to do is just hit that silhouette and you realize, oh, that's the symbol for running. You don't even have to look at the artwork.
Yep.
You don't have to look at the artwork. The pose itself basically tells you what's going on. And if you can master, I think it's about, in my opinion, it's about 7 poses. 7 poses. And if you can master 7 poses, you can draw a freaking comic book. That's my take. And once I figured that out, man, it like made it a lot easier for me. Yeah, I kind of dissect things down.
There's I guess my version of that sort of thought is looking at silhouette development.
Yeah.
So like because I've outside of comics, I've done a lot of work for in gaming and film.
Okay. Yeah.
And when we're doing character development, the characters always have to have a unique silhouette, but the form language of that silhouette translates over into other things. So like as you're doing character design, you're trying to build a silhouette for that character so that if it's in total darkness, you can still look at its shape and know who the character is.
Yes.
Well, the same thing applies to storytelling. If you can look at a drawing, look at a silhouette, you should be able to tell what they're doing.
Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of the long and short of it. Now, there's a lot of ways to break that down. There's a massive amount of ways to break that down.
Well, see, I'm not formally trained, and I think my comic book shorthand is exactly that.
What you've got going with that, I mean, I'm another like not formally trained person at all, but just passionate about it since I was a little kid. And what you're talking about with that shorthand is not wrong in the least. And I would say that you've kind of stumbled onto a line of thinking that can be explored that will open up to opens up a lot of avenues. A lot of crazy stuff will open up just from that thinking about silhouettes. Yeah. I mean, you can let me pop back over here where I was doodling around. And,
hello, Brian.
Let's see. So, like, if you take, hey, Pops, why don't you pop me up here for just a second, okay? So, like, you take this, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, boom, boom. What is that?
A fist.
I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. The beginnings of a hand. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Like, so that kind of form language.
Exactly.
Form language.
Yes.
That's what it.
You don't have to draw well. If you're an artist listening to this, you don't have to draw well. What you have to understand is that comic book shorthand or form language, because it's more important than anything else. Because if you can convey what a character is doing just by his shape, it doesn't matter if you draw noses poorly or eyes poorly. What that will then become to the reader is a style. It's just a style. Oh, he's not a poor artist. That's his style, because everything else you're doing is communicating exactly what the eye needs to see to understand what the story's doing. That's
storytelling is everything.
Storytelling is everything, man. Do you remember Barry Windsor Smith put out this? Wait, does he have a mask? He has a mask, doesn't he? I'll work around that later. Barry Windsor Smith, man, he put out these books called Barry Windsor Smith Storyteller. Do you remember those? They were giant size. Oh my gosh! I don't know if you guys can look them up or anything, but they are freaking awesome, man. They're giant size books.
I adore Barry Windsor Smith, so that would be something I would definitely want to get into.
He basically carried Valiant like on his back, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, when it was first started, you know, and the thing that really blew my mind was he drawing the Wolverine, the Weapon X thing.
Oh
where,
yeah,
you know, where he escapes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
I mean, that was basically Wolverine's origin.
Yes,
yeah.
Man. And up until then, you know, no one had really touched it, you know, and put that pizzazz on it that he has, you know. But the freaking realism, all the shading, he's got a big afro.
Oh, dude, freaking Barry Windsor Smith was one of those artists. I'm like, this guy can do no wrong.
King of the crosshatch.
I would rival him with somebody on that.
Who would you rival him with? I mean, there's
Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson.
You brought him up again. Let me go look him up, dude.
Bernie Wrightson all day, every day.
I must know who you're talking about.
Hold on. I believe
Bernie
Barry Windsor Smith would probably say the same thing.
Probably so, right? Because they get Wrightson, right? Wrightson, right?
WRITGH.
Oh, W
SON.
RIT. Okay. Oh my goodness! I mean, do I know it's Bernie Wrightson?
For Neo Designs over there on Twitch, what's happening? He says, I think he's talking about Barry Windsor Smith. Wasn't he featured in Wizard magazine back in the day with lots of art tutorials?
Barry Windsor Smith, I don't recall him ever doing tutorials for Wizard. That was the guy who did most of that stuff was Bart Sears.
Bart Sears.
And
he also says
Bart Sears is another amazing artist. I loved it. I've always loved his work.
And he also said Stephen Platt used a lot of crosshatch.
Stephen Platt used a lot of crosshatching back in the day, and I'm not as big a fan of his because a lot of his stuff to me all felt like he was using it to hide things back then. Now, he left comics for a long time to go into doing character design for film. If you've seen the movie Dracula Untold, a couple years ago, Dracula Untold is a really good Dracula movie. Well, Stephen Platt did all the design. I won't say all, but I think he was the lead designer on that, and it shows. And
he sounds so bad.
And it came. Now he's come back to comics after being gone for a while, and now he doesn't do as much cross-hatching. He's not going nuts with it. I think back then he was trying to bring some of Liefeld's stuff onto his own, because that's who brought him in. And now I feel like Platt in the last 10 years has really come into his own a lot more. And it's now his stuff is, I really like what he does.
I haven't seen his new stuff.
He's supposed to be doing Moon Knight again.
Really?
Yep. I saw a thing from him the other day where he was supposed to be doing Moon Knight again.
You know what? Back in those days, man, they had house styles. So, so of course he was trying to draw like the guy that brought him in. How does he,
well, that's the way you got in.
That's the way you got
in the 70s, you drew like John Buscema. That was it. You draw like John Buscema.
Yep.
In the 80s, you tried to draw like John Byrne. Toward the end of the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, you needed to draw either like Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, or Rob Liefeld.
Yep.
That was
hot. That's how it goes. And you can tell artists who are from that era because we kind of got that little
Oh yeah.
that little flair in there, you know.
Well, I when I stepped away from comics, you know, I was away from comics for 15 years, working in animation and film.
Dude.
And it when I came back to comics, it had changed everything. So I can totally understand why when Stephen Platt did that, he would have a similar effect.
Yeah, he got to grow. You know who I miss and who also grew to such a degree where, I'm not gonna say you can't recognize his art anymore, but he's grown. Let's just put it. He's grown. Travis Charest is.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know if
That's another dude who kind of stepped away from comics for a couple of years, and when he came back, it was like, where did you go? What did you do? Because this is awesome now. He was awesome. He was great before when he was aping Jim Lee. He was great then.
Yes,
but you know he got a chance to get out on his own and grow a little bit, and what came back was awesome.
Good morning, Woodrow.
So too was Greg Capullo. Greg Capullo.
Oh, Greg. Oh my God, I love Greg. Love Greg Capullo.
Capullo. That's how you say it, Capullo.
Yeah, Capullo.
Capullo. We don't know.
Greg Capullo. Capullo. Italian. He's Italian. He lives up in Schenectady.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's up in Schenectady, New York.
Okay.
Last I spoke with him, he was in Schenectady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never spoke to you. Spoke to him. Okay. What type of relationship do you guys have? Is just like
no, I wouldn't call it a relationship. I've ran into him at a few shows here and there, and then I amused him at a show because this is such an aside, but my all-time favorite, well, maybe not all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite bands is the Black Label Society.
Black Label Society.
Okay. And fucking Zach Wild, man.
You know I love Zach. Zach's my dude.
And well, Greg Capullo, if you look, you will never see a public photo of him that he is not wearing a BLS shirt or a BLS cap.
Oh, wow.
Nice. And dude, Black Label is the Grateful Dead of heavy metal. Okay. Like when you go to a Black Label show, you're not attending a show, you're attending a family gathering.
Okay.
And I mean, it'll be a room full of big ass bearded motherfuckers like me in their leathers and their their motorcycle vests and shit. And I'm telling you what, I took a girl to one once, and she was like, "Oh, these people are all so scary." I'm like, "Honey, you are safe as a kitten in here." Yeah. I was like, "This is the safest place in this city tonight, because any motherfucker wants to get out of line in here.
They get so.
Every guy in this place will take a turn whipping his ass." But Capullo, he's always wearing that stuff. And I'm like, man, is he like legit? A legit sporting the colors on this. So I caught there was a signing he was doing. So I made sure I went wearing one of my Black Label shirts. And when I went to get my book signed, he looks up at the shirt, and what did he say? He said something about Black Label represent. And I looked at him. I was like, SDMF, motherfucker. and so he signed my book. And put a little cross, a little equilateral cross, and in the four corners put SDMF.
And if you don't know what that means,
for folks who don't know what that means, there's actually a song Black Label has. It was a B-side called "Strength, Determination, Merciless Forever."
Yep.
Okay.
Strength, determination, merciless forever. That is the Black Label credo.
Yep. Or my other favorite that a lot of us have on our vests and shit is GIFD.
Yep. Get it fucking done.
Get
And
it
that,
fucking done.
that comes over. That one's more of a dime bag Zach thing
Yeah.
than it was a Black Label thing, but it was still Zach. Look,
Oh yeah.
I first heard about Zach way back when he did the Pride and Glory album before Black Label. You know,
I got into Zach when Ozzy picked him up.
well, see, I mean, everybody heard about. I think everybody had heard about him by then, but when the Black Label album came out, it was his first solo album, right? And it is some of the best Southern heavy metal you will ever hear.
Oh yeah.
Ever in your life. I mean, I still, when people talk about Black Label, I still think about songs off the Pride and Glory album. Sorry.
Oh, dude. Pride
it's
and
just
Glory.
the way it is, you know. I mean, you take me to Zach and I go all the way back.
Fucking
Take me to Zach, I go all the way back.
Harvester of Pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Harvester of
Songs
Pain.
like that, Towing the Line. Towing the Line is just fucking powerful, dude. And it's like, yeah.
That's the shit, man. So yeah.
You would think they would have a superhero with those mantras. Those are pretty deep mantras. Like, what did he say? The one before "Get her done, get her effing done."
TIFD, get it fucking done.
No, the one strength.
Oh, strength, determination, merciless forever.
Forever. That sounds like some all spark stuff.
But see, people look at Zach and they see Thor. I actually have a picture of Zach holding Thor's hammer, you know, and it says Happy Thor's Day or something. But it's Zach holding the hammer, right? You know.
And what most people don't know about Zach is he is like an intensely devoted Catholic.
Yep.
Catholic. Okay.
He is incredibly Catholic. Like every Sunday on his social media, he's got different pictures of like these. I think one of them may be actually I don't think Zach would know it, but I think one of them is actually a Boris Vallejo painting of a like hyper muscular, like bodybuilder looking Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach is always on Sundays he'll post that stuff, and it's funny, but it's cool.
Yeah, Boris Vallejo. Yeah, Jesus. He's really coming to kick some butt.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Jesus. I'm coming to kick butts, chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Well, that's cool, man. There's the connections that are made, in comics are so wild. You never know who's a fan and who you'll meet. One time we did a comic book for a wrestler. I forget his name. But
what's the name of the book? What's the name of the book?
Oh man, this is like back in the 90s.
Come on, man.
I can't even remember, but he had face paint like a blue fire around his eyes. He was a tan guy with blonde hair, dirty brown blonde hair.
Ultimate Warrior?
Yes, I think that's him. Yes. And we did a comic book for him. I had some guys who were really like, I guess you call them business guys. They're more like just swindlers who are in the comic book industry. They were always talking.
There's a lot of that.
The guys are always talking about, I'm gonna do this project. We'll do this project. I got a proposal between in front of this guy and this guy and this guy, but they never do any work.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Somehow they landed this wrestling contract, and we ended up drawing this book for them. This is like in the 90. Oh my gosh, maybe 93, 94.
Wow.
95, something like that. That's when I lived in San Diego. And, we were privy to the whole Wildstorm thing and, Amish Studios and all this stuff. San Diego, I did not know, but San Diego is like the home of freaking comic books. I thought it was New York. No, that stuff was moving to California. And,
Yeah, it started in New York, but it moved out to California with Image.
With Image, yeah.
Yeah, when Image started, that's where that all went.
I found a Warrior comic. It doesn't say Ultimate Warrior. It says Warrior. And that was 96.
96. Hold on, let me see that.
It doesn't have your name on it.
Hold on.
I'm trying to find the one you're talking about here.
Maybe. No. If it has anybody's name on it, it might be Alex Storm. Hold on. I wonder if I can find him in the chat. Alex.
About let's see, what is this one? See, I'm finding different ones.
Hey, what was the name of that wrestling comic book we did back in the day? Let's see if he'll write me back. And are you putting them on StreamYard? Because I'm not looking. I wasn't paying attention. Let me see. Ultimate Warrior. Let me type it up.
WWF Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Oh, this is stuff I haven't looked at in years. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Wait, this thing looks like Image stuff. Hold on. No. I don't even know if it's this dude. You know what? I think it's Triple H. Now that it's coming to me, I think it's Triple H. Triple H.
Oh, just so you know, I just in Messenger sent you a link where you to the trade paperback of Apocalypse Girl, so you can read it.
Oh, heck yeah! Heck yeah!
That's my baby.
Apocalypse Girl,
my damn baby.
So is that your creation?
Yeah, I'm the writer, penciler, inker, letterer, colorist, and cover painter. And there are collectibles that I have that I produce sometimes for it that I did all the sculpting for.
Oh, you can sculpt too. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Them, set them up, digital sculpting, set them up for 3D printing, run them in my shop.
Wow, so you have a print shop as well?
Yep. The next room over. Actually, we got another printer coming in today. By the end of today, we'll be up to nine machines in there.
So how are you printing? Is it off press? Is it digital print? How are you?
Well, these are all for 3D printing.
Oh,
yeah, these are all SLA 3D printers.
Oh, you're trying to print some action figures.
Oh yeah, here, I'm gonna step away for a second, and I'll come back with something for you to see.
Okay, I found a Triple H mini comic.
Oh yeah, let me see. I think it is Triple H.
It features him as the Skull King, and he defeats Sting.
I don't think that's what I.
But it doesn't say anything about who did it or anything. It's like very, they ain't giving me much. It's a Masters of the WWE Universe.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm waiting for my homeboy to see if he's going to write me back.
That's too new. That's not it. That's too new.
A lot of folks watching will know that we just a few months ago finished up a Kickstarter for a book called Homestead.
Homestead, okay.
Werewolf Western.
Ooh, Werewolf Western. Are you showing it on the stream?
Let me turn my background thing off so y'all can see my crappy the messy office behind me. The rest of the shop's actually not that messy, but and now let's bring this guy up here.
What's up, Matthew? What's up, Blue? Turn it. There you go. Oh yeah. Move it over a little. There you go. Right there. Yeah. That is.
It doesn't quite fit on the screen. But yeah, there's a size comparison next to my head.
Got it. Oh, cool, dude. That is nice. Now you did the sculpting on that?
Yep.
What,
Yeah, that's what I did for all the years I was away from comics.
what program are you using?
Primarily ZBrush.
Dude, I need to learn. I'm so intimidated by it. I need to get beyond that.
ZBrush is the shit. That's like everybody it's like everything you see coming out of games in Hollywood, it all goes through ZBrush.
It all goes to ZBrush at some point, huh?
Yeah. So
do you feel like you can master the human anatomy better in 3D than you can in 2D?
I'm really far from my mic, so give me just a second.
Gotcha.
I would say that they are equally difficult in a sense, because even if you're just trying to draw, I say just, not like that's a small thing, but if you're trying to draw, you still need to understand it in 3 dimensions.
True.
And so, I have told young artists for years, I'm like, even if you have no interest in sculpting, go get you a ball of clay and try it. Just do it and apply lessons of anatomy that you learn from studying 2D stuff, apply it to the sculpting, and then really consider form and structure. And it will make you a better 2D artist.
Okay.
There you go. So
Hold on. Let me see what you got here.
So,
hey.
You pop that screen up there for me for a second, Pops.
That is so freaking cool.
Here. So this is one of my werewolf minis. And then this is an adapted version of that same big sculpt taken down to a tabletop miniature size.
So what this is based off of your comic book.
Yeah. These are well, the book Homestead was a werewolf book. It's a werewolf western. And we did let's see. This is actually a failed prototype. The back's busted off part of it, but this was one of the first prototypes of the bust, the werewolf head bust.
Wow.
That was one of the stretch goals that people could unlock, and then the big one was a stretch goal they could unlock, and they could do it as an add-on. So
yes, you need to show me more. Yes, more.
I've got there's a box sitting just to my left of these little guys. A box of 100 of them.
Dang.
And that werewolf over on the table over in my other production area, there's 10 of those sitting there right now.
Dang.
So I'm getting ready to do for myself one of that werewolf that will be about 2.5 feet tall. So 2.5 feet tall. That's going to be like a centerpiece.
You're just trying to scare yourself in the middle of the night. That's all. We wake up. See
the big dog is going to be for a centerpiece display on my convention table.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to buy that big one after I get it done and painted, they're welcome to buy it. But then it's like that's not going to be cheap. A 2 foot tall piece like that, fully painted and everything, I'll get between $400 to $500 for that.
So how much resin does it cost how much resin does it require to make that, and how much does it cost to make it using that type of resin and the amount of resin or whatever?
Well, there's a lot of factors in it. It depends on things like, depends on the machine you're using, depends on the type of resin, because there's different types of resin that you can run. It also really depends on how you've set up the piece. I mean, there's like baseline amounts that something that big takes, but then there's things you can do. Like a lot of times I will hollow my sculpts out. So then I'm cutting down, like taking a big, like a foot tall sculpt and hollowing it out. I can probably cut what would have been the resin amount used in that in more than half by making it.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Wow. There's always tricks. There's always tricks to the trade.
That's stuff that I can't drop any names yet, but hopefully I've got a feeling that probably inside the next year there's a pretty big ass toy company I'm going to be doing some work.
Hold up. Wait a second. Let's make the news cycle right now. Come on.
I can't do it yet. I got people who will be very upset with me if I say too much about certain things just yet.
Look, Les, I would not be doing my job, comic book journalist, if I did not ask you again, Les. Okay, what are we talking about here? There are a number of things in the works that I'm very excited about. So hey, I'm gonna put a pin in the werewolf thing because I want to come back and talk about that. So let me write that down. Let me write it down. Wolf. Okay, and this is what I want to talk about now. Since you're talking about toys, I worked for a toy company once before.
Cool.
Swimways, and they're based here in Virginia. They're based in Virginia Beach, but the toys they make are pool toys. So I
thought you were gonna say they were sex toys.
No, that probably would have been a lot more exciting. No, they got some really cool.
Probably a lot more lucrative too.
Yeah, they're very lucrative.
I didn't say lubrative. I said lucrative.
Money was just sliding off the table.
Oh God!
But I was brought in to basically draw the toys out, and it was interesting because their manufacturer was in China, and before then it took them a lot of iterations to get the toys developed because they were dealing with a liaison and an older woman who could speak Mandarin or whatever, so who could speak the language. Okay, but she wasn't an artist. But so they brought me on, and I would just illustrate the toys, and therefore we cut through the language barrier, right? And it was very fun. It was very interesting. I learned a lot about office politics there, but but I wish it was more than just pool toys. But speaking of that, at toys, what has happened to toys? What has happened to toys? The way toys used to be for us. Well, is there any difference? Is there any difference between the toys of our youth and the toys today? And are those differences better, or are they lacking? Or what's your take, Les? What's your take, Pops? I'm just curious.
Personally, I think that that all depends on your purpose. If your purpose is for a kid to play with the toys, most of the toys we have today are kind of bullshit.
I'm going to say only one thing about kids and toys. The Evel Knievel stunt cycle was the all-time best fucking toy ever made.
Followed up by the Spider-Man helicopter set.
Oh, that was good stuff.
Yeah, I had them all.
for all the collectability there was in like Star Wars toys and G.I. Joe toys, I remember, how much of my childhood was spent playing with those.
Playing with them, yes.
That was a big portion of what I do for a living and have for, God, my whole adult life is creating stories and characters. And so much of that comes from, how I played as a kid.
Yep.
All I'm going to say is my parents invested in the best get my kid out of my hair toy they possibly could have back in the day before tablets and shit, right?
That's what toys that's what toys were made for back then.
Yeah. It has to last. We want to get the kids out the house.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the stunt cycle, the Evel Knievel stunt cycle was well built. We put that thing through hell.
Dude, like Tonka trucks, man. We literally put a Tonka truck. There was a Tonka commercial where they said, not even a train can destroy this truck.
Les, you are like,
we put ours on a train track to see.
You were reading my mind. I was about to bring up Tonka, and you were right there. So you put it on a train track? Did you let the train run over it?
Yeah. Yeah, we put it on train tracks and waited for the train to come along. And the truck, it put a big dent in it, but it hit it and the thing shot off the tracks, and it was still usable.
I'm looking up right now and I see a 1984 train derailment. I
will neither confirm nor deny.
I think we should end this stream right now.
Well, speaking of that, we're actually right about time to call it.
Oh, really?
Day. Wow. Yeah, it's about that time.
I can give you guys another 15. I don't want anybody leaving feeling like they didn't get to talk about what they wanted to talk about. And I know Vince had something else he wanted to talk.
Well, I yes, I have a Kickstarter live with the Eternal. And you can go there right now. It's called the Eternal. I'm doing the art for it. Brian Frazee is a phrase. I call him Frazee. Brian Frazee is the creator and the writer. Go on there, get the book. The book is going to be very interesting. I'm telling you, it's very interesting. It's not what you think. And you think it's your typical superhero story. It is, but it isn't. As far as coming on here and jiving with Les and Pops, I can do this all day, man. I'm a comic book lover and a comic book fan.
Oh, this is cool, man. This is really, it's funny because I'm so damn busy all the time that, like, reaching out to people and getting guests. I want guests, but I'm not good at doing that.
Yeah, I know.
But by the time the next stream rolls around, I'm like, oh shit, I need a guest. Oh, I didn't get one. Well, crap. So
yeah,
I've wanted this thing to be like this, where it was, where it's basically just me hanging out with another artist or two, talking shop and just shooting shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That went by so fast, dude. Look.
Oh yeah. Hey, let me show you something real quick. One of the things in Clip Studio that I think you'll really think is neat, and I'll backpedal a little bit here so you can see it. If you got me up there, Pops?
Yep.
Okay. So probably one of the neatest things in Clip Studio is its ruler system. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, or guide system. So, like, we can do where I'm working on this gun right here. I'll take this thing that's the parallel ruler and click, drag that line. Now you see it dropped these. I don't know how we see it on the stream.
Yeah.
So now everything I draw is going to be snapped to those. So if I were doing speed lines right here.
Yes.
And it doesn't even matter. Like right now, I'm literally pulling my pen straight perpendicular to it, but nope, it's locked into that.
Yeah, the technical lines challenge me a lot because on paper, I can use rulers and the hand. Once that pencil digs into the board, you can get more control and do more straighter lines by hand, on paper easily.
Well, there's some other rulers in here to check out, like so. there's a symmetrical ruler, but then you can tell it how many lines of symmetry to have. So like 2 is normal. Okay, so there's that. And if I start drawing right here, you see what it does.
All right, look. I wanted to come back. I'm gonna spend this last minute. I want to share something with you, Les. An idea that I had. Okay, for werewolves. Okay.
Okay.
And I want 10% of everything that you make from this idea. Okay. So I'm just putting this out there. So, here's the idea. The idea is that werewolves, they develop this. If you're looking at the DNA spiral ladder, right? You know.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it has the rungs in it that connect to the spiral, the little ladder rungs, right? And so those who are werewolves, they develop this certain canine rung. It might be several within a DNA strand, but the problem is they don't connect. They're only connected to one side. So it's a broken rung. They're hanging down. All the other rungs are connected and they're attached, just like a perfect ladder. But they have these broken rungs. But during the full moon, because of its magnetic pull, it pulls on the DNA and it pulls these broken rungs up and they connect in the DNA ladder, the lattice. And then therefore those canine DNA become active. And that's why they change during a full moon, because of the magnetic pull on their DNA. Then they start to change, right? So this is how you you give a scientific reason why people turn into werewolves. This is how you disable them. You get them to run through a magnetic trap. It's almost like a Faraday cage where it separates them from the magnetic pull. Those rungs drop down from the DNA lattice. They're no longer engaged, and then they turn back into the human form.
That's wild, dude. That's actually a really cool idea.
Yo. You haven't even talked to me about creative stuff. You're just talking to me about art. We got to do more. And look, I think I finished my sketch of Marvelous.
Let me see.
I'm just sitting here doodling, doing goofy doodles.
No, he's done. Quick. I had to develop a very fast style to try to get pages done.
Oh, you have to be fast, man.
And I'm sort of happy with the style. It's loose. We didn't get into cross hatching, which I think is something really cool. We could talk about next time. But I'll give you. I'll go back and pull this one page back up. That's like probably my favorite example of my own particular take on hatching and ink line work was combine it back together real quick. Combine. Yeah, combine it. There you go. What's up, Chucky Tuck?
Stick it together. Stick it back together. Hurry up. Come on. And moving slow.
Nothing's going to go fast while StreamYard's open, bro.
There we go. So, so this.
I'm trying to make that big.
There we go. Yeah, this was
wow. I see the detail, brother.
Fun couple of pages to do.
Is that a double page spread?
Yeah.
How long do you think it took you to do that?
I can tell you almost exactly how long it took me to do it. 6 hours.
What? Come on. Okay. I need access to your Adderall.
Yeah. And this isn't 100% digital either, because a lot of what I do, because of my current disability with my left hand, it's hard to draw on because I can't use my left hand to turn the page around. And I can't use my left hand to hold rulers and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff that it cuts out for me. So I do all my penciling digital. Then I'll go ahead and think through anything that I need rulers for, all kinds of stuff like that. And I will ink that stuff digital and leave my blue line showing through. then print my page on. I've got a really nice printer that will print to illustration board. It's a really badass Epson, and I will print that partially inked page to illustration board and then finish it with pens and stuff next to me.
That's crazy.
So that I can, and then scan it back in and pop it back in.
Do you have 11 by 17 scanner, or you got something bigger?
11 by 17.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think I've got two of them in here, two 11 by 17 scanners in the shop.
I got one in the closet. You know, I used to do all that.
But yeah,
interesting, man.
I do this hybrid where I'm work digital for stuff that is off limits to me right now because of my arm. So
we just have to talk more or less, man. It's hard to find kindred spirits who just kind of understand comics.
Oh yeah,
deep knowledge, and we haven't even scratched the surface. So I'm always open for this type of fun. I hope we can do it again for real. This hour, it was an hour, right? Man,
yeah, it was an hour.
Flew by, dude. It flew by.
It does. It's gone before you know it.
Oh man.
Yeah. I would love to just do an entire hour sometime. I'm going to assume that you have read this book, Comics in Sequential Art from Will Eisner.
No, but I am going to read it.
Ooh, go just hop up right now and go get it. Just get
Comics
that book.
And Sequential
Comics and Sequential Art by Will Eisner.
I read the Marvel Making Comics the Marvel Way, the Stanley one.
That one is the gateway book.
And Sequential Art by Will Eisner. Will Eisner. Okay.
Like the Eisner Awards.
Yeah. The spirit and all that stuff.
Yeah, the guy that the Eisner Awards are named after is the author of that book.
I got it.
And when you read that book, you'll understand why the Eisners are called the Eisners. That book, I think he first put it out in the early 70s, and because he was a guy back in the 40s, but he did this book that, like, to this day, UCLA Film School in California uses that as a textbook.
Really?
Yeah, because regardless of comics or anything else, it is the textbook of visual storytelling. Like, when I first got into comics, the first real pro in comics who helped me out at all was Joe Quesada. And
wow.
And he said, before I talk to you again, he's like, the next time I talk to you, you need to have read this book. I was like, got it, on it.
Why is it on Kindle $22 but paperback is $15? Okay. Whatever. Keep going.
I think I have studied that book to the point that I think I've ruined 5 copies of it. You sit down with that thing and you just absorb it. And the way it's written, a lot of the stuff in it talking about comics, he almost always, like, everything has visual examples that he's drawn in it. Yeah, it's
gotcha. I love books like
that. I wish people who just enjoy comics would go read that book, because it will absolutely, if nothing else, it will enhance your depth of understanding for the art form in a way that is wild. As an artist, it will change you.
I'm definitely getting it right now on Amazon. You
can't, as an artist in comics, you cannot read that book and not come away changed. You cannot reread that book and not come away changed. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Doesn't matter how much you've done it, how good you think you are, how good anybody says you are.
I'm going to take that challenge.
that book will change you. You may not even realize it, but I swear, after you read that book and you start drawing pages again and think about drawing those pages, you'll think about them completely different. Lots of stuff will start to come out that's just insane. How this man had such an amazing way of breaking down visual storytelling and creating entire new languages for storytelling inside of it. Will Eisner, in my mind, will always be one of the great gifts from God to comics.
Mm. 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 Well, you know, I say comics is it's the one true American art form that we created.
Oh yeah.
You know,
absolutely, man.
It's part of our heritage, and we should be honored to know that and hold on to it. And
you know, there's an argument that can be made that the first actual comic book was created by this guy. I can't remember his first name, but I remember he was they called him Colonel. It was a Colonel Nicholson, and this guy apparently was either like a great uncle or somehow related to the actor Jack Nicholson down the line.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Jack's all over the place.
Yeah. Colonel Nicholson's guy who first started pulling. He would pull the strips out of garbage. Like he would pull newspapers out of garbage that were excess and thrown away. He pulled the comic strips out of them, and then he would bind them together and sell them out on the street for like a penny.
Yeah, and I've heard some stories about that. I didn't know the guy that did it, but I heard stories about that, and that's how comic books came about. And I'm gonna tell you, my passion when I was a child was comic strips. I wanted to be a comic strip artist.
Oh,
and I'm glad that was my passion, because if you can draw a successful comic strip and convey what you're trying to convey in 3 to 4 panels and understand word bubbles and things like that, that allows you to draw comics in a whole different way. You begin to understand.
Comic strips are a very different beast than comic books. I mean, they share a basic kind of language.
Yes.
But you know, it's like, what's the way to put it? One is like writing a novel, and the other is like being able to distill things down into shorthand. And neither one is easy.
Neither one is easy.
They're both simplicity or brevity, which I am never brief. Simplicity and brevity are skills that you have to do a comic strip. I don't know that I could do comic strips. I have no idea.
Really? I'm telling you, you would learn a whole different discipline. And as good as you are, I'm looking at your stuff, man. I'm like, dude, that would just be another thing to add to your repertoire. But,
it's a wild idea to ever try and do that. I mean, there's been a lot more space opened up for people doing strips with as the internet's grown and all that stuff. I think there's a lot of people. It's weird. Like everything is kind of expanded in ways that are a little hard for my old ass brain to wrap around it. You know, even though I've been involved in technology and stuff since the mid 90s, shit's weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this, but we do have another show coming up here in a little bit.
Pop says it's time to wrap it up.
I did want to say, if you guys are amenable to the option of doing this again next week, Vince, I'll make sure you get the link.
Oh yeah, sure. Send me the link. Yeah.
I'd be super down to have the man on again.
Yeah, I got a lot to talk about.
It's going to be like part 3. That's awesome. This is what happens.
I'm good with that.
This is what happens in the madness. We introduce people to each other. We try to create collaborations without trying. Basically, we just introduce people, and sometimes they hit it off, and some good stuff happens because of it. And, you never know. Even a friendship is good stuff, right? So, Vince, again, thanks for coming out. I'm going to play your trailer. I'm going to play Doc's trailer. I'm going to do my thing on the way out of here. Les, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
find me.
Yeah, tell everybody where they can find you.
Stick my name in any search engine or social media, and you'll find me. Look for Les Garner or Apocalypse Girl or Homestead. I'm easy to find. Very easy.
Vince, same question, same thing. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Vince White, comic book artist. Just type it into Google or go to thepowerverse.com. Currently, I'm working on the Eternal comic book live on Kickstarter, but this is evergreen. So just Vince White, comic book artist. You'll find me.
Cool. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. You people on the replay, we love you too. Peace, everybody.
Later, y'all.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. 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 I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz
how to drive.
hands. Jazz hands are
All
done.
right.